we're going to recreate the entire product for you. That's how we assemble the keyboard. Hey guys, it's been a while that I've been in front of the camera. You guys haven't seen me much. It's mostly been Saloni, but guess what? I'm back. And I'm back with a bang. It's been a while since we covered keyboards, especially the Kreo Swarm. Today, we're going to take apart the Kreo Swarm layer by layer, and we'll let your ears decide what's good and what's not. The Swarm has 5 dedicated layers for sound absorption, apart from having a gasket mounted structure, and each of these layers plays a different part when it comes to how the sound is for the keyboard. This is basically a raw keyboard. Notice how hollow it sounds? That's exactly why there's absolutely no sound dampening here, nothing at all. That's why it's sounding so hollow. You want to know what the Swarm sounds like? Well, here we go. Notice how creamy and talky that is? Well, we're going to break down each and every layer and what leads to this creamy and talkiness. So, speaking about every layer, let's start with something which is not a layer. Well, these are the keycaps. These are our amazing PBD double shot keycaps right here. Yep, that's what gives it the extra oomph. And we have our Starling switches here. My personal favorite would be the GTMXs, but Starlings are good either way. Alright, which brings us to our first layer. As you can see over here, this is our very first layer, which is the polycarbonate plate. What this helps with is, it helps with not keeping your typing stiff. As you can see, it's very flexible. So this plate is meant for you when you're typing and you can really spring it down. What that helps with is that your fingers don't feel like they're hitting a wall, a very abrupt wall, but they nicely cushion down. That's what it's meant for. It's meant to give a very good typing experience, as well as helping with sound dampening. So we're going to talk about the first layer. Right now, we have a switch film, which is just below the PC plate. And this is a very thin film. This is just a piece which fits between the foam and the smaller, lighter switch film. Essentially, these help with reducing vibrations between the switches all the way down to the keyboard. It's the very first layer for helping with sound absorption. The next particular layer. This is the very first slightly latex-y foam layer that we have. This is the very first layer which actually helps us in sound absorption a lot more than the layers before. Yep, and rightly so. As you would have seen, in acoustic places, in sound engineering places, you have foams installed everywhere. And the reason for that is because it would not let sound escape, like very harsh sounds escape that room. This works in the very same concept. You would have foam inside a product, ensuring that it sounds much more crispy and you don't have any rattly noises coming out. So that's exactly why we have this first layer of foam, which sits in between. So, interesting layer. You go back. The next layer is not with sound. This has nothing to do with sound absorption, but this is our PCB. As you can see, this is our Kreo Swarm PCB. Not too flexible, and for everyone watching this who has a Hive V2 series, you need to see what's on your PCB. So yeah, that's what we have. We have a PCB right below that. Now what comes next? Well, we have one more slightly latexy foam layer, a massive product for sound absorption. This is where things get interesting. The sound gets much better, and you can see the second layer of foam really bringing out some very good sounds. The next layer is the mother lode of all layers, which really absorbs everything which is there in the product. It sits right below this and sits right at the bottom of the keyboard, which is the bottom plate, and just above the battery. As you can see, we have the bottom plate, and as you can see the battery. This is the silicone pad. Now this is slightly thicker, as you can see, and slightly heavier as well. It's quite flimsy, it's quite cool. It's a silicone pad. It's very thick and much heavier than the other layers, and this is what absorbs most of the sound. And yeah, that's how we assemble the keyboard. And finally, obviously, we have the bottom plate, which keeps it all together. So, yeah. Now, one thing to note, which a lot of people would think, what is a gasket and how does it help? Well, gasket's basically just a style of keeping the keyboard so that, it's all intact. And in our case, as you can see, I've not put everything together, but as you can see the springiness? That's where the gasket comes into play. And a lot more free, the movement of the keyboard. It's not stiff at all. So a good gasket structure helps with that as well. And yeah, that's how we break down the Kreo Swarm. So as you can see, this keyboard, it doesn't directly screw in over here, but it floats on this gasket structure over here. That's what makes it a lot more freer and much lesser vibrations. A softer bottom out, lesser harshness. And yeah, that's what makes this keyboard so perfect. Now, started off Swarm V1 with a lower number of layers and slowly increase them over time. Now, Swarm V2 is something where we're contemplating what to do. We might even take in some considerations to make it even thockier. But does it really make a difference? Comment below. We'll see what we can do about the product now. The keyboard sounds better and more fuller with all these layers combined. All of them play a great symphony to become one cohesive unit, which gives us that great sound. I'd love to know in the comments below on what you'd want on our next set of keyboards, and if you want them to be thockier, more layers, and yeah, do let us know in the comments below.